So today on the podcast, I'm delighted to welcome Anthony. Anthony was our first franchisee from Scotland. And so he's in the athletics air, and it's amazing to have you here today. Now, Anthony, his classes are amazing. He is the first person to get really into the theme, and you've probably seen loads of pictures of him on social media where he's dressed up for the occasion. So I can't wait to hear more about that and how much you love dressing up. And it's great to hear everything about you today, Anthony. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So, shall we start? Anthony, do you want to start by just telling us a bit about yourself?
So, to be honest, I never really worked with kids much up until I had my daughter. I was pretty much jumping from job to job, just try to do anything until I got to like the highest point, and then I'd kind of get a little bit bored with what I was doing, and I'd move on and look at something else and just try and challenge myself quite a lot. I never really ever felt like I was in a position that was satisfying everything that I wanted to do. And then I had my daughter and took her swimming, and they offered out jobs to people saying whether anybody would be interested. And I thought, actually, this sounds quite a nice thing to do. And once I started doing that and you just get that feedback from kids, it's just so much more job satisfaction than I've ever had before. I was like, right, okay, this is definitely where I want to be, where I need to be. And luckily I came across an advertisement for mini athletics for franchises, and Kirk had a couple of meetings with me, and it just sounded like the perfect fit. I loved athletics when I was younger. I was always 100 meter, 200 meter. So when people say athletics, like a lot of people think like long distance, I'd laugh at anybody that would say they were going to go and do a marathon or anything like that. Like if it's more than a lap of the track, I'm kind of like, no, I don't really want to do it. But 100 meters, 200, that was me. And absolutely loved it. So I was desperate to sort of become a franchisee at that point, and never looked back. It's been amazing.
Amazing. Well, how has your life changed since you decided to do it?
Although it's been good. To be honest, I never ever stopped wearing red. I seem to don't have any normal clothes anymore, and that's probably the biggest change. No, it fits around my life really well. I get to be there for my daughter a lot more. I mean, the busier you get, you do sort of still have to do a lot of work, so you are, but I can pick her up from school. I can drop her off in the morning, which wouldn't have been possible with a lot of other jobs and things that I had. And obviously, it's just that satisfaction. I'm not stressed at home because of something that someone else has done. I've got control of everything that's happening. Don't get me wrong, some of the classes, and if any of my people are watching this, they'll realize which classes I'm talking about. You can get quite stressed out with kids just going crazy and wanting to win races and things like that. But it's just all part of the fun.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, you've done, because how long have you been running now?
It was 2 years actually, just a couple of weeks ago, September 16th, I think was my first class at my college.
It's flown, hasn't it? Well, I feel
Yeah.
like it. What do you think has been your biggest challenge over the last 2 years?
Probably being up here in Scotland, away from the English franchises, the Irish and stuff like that. I think more so because it hadn't been done up here before, the way the like active schools and things like that work, and trying to negotiate that side of things. Like going into the classes and winning the classes, it kind of just comes quite naturally. Whereas I know a lot of people would get nervous about doing that. I kind of seem to shut everything else out, go in and just do the class. I don't care if I'm making a fool of myself, just having fun. So that bit never ever really troubled me. It was this side of the admin and trying to make sure that you can get into these places, the active schools, trying to push them side of things and trying to find avenues around doing all that sort of stuff.
Well, you've made great headway with that. Like I agree, the schools definitely has been a harder challenge than we expected in Scotland, hasn't it, for you? But
definitely,
your persistence is starting to pay off.
Yeah, that's it. And so I kind of took a different view, because I know like a lot of the franchises in England, it's the bigger model is trying to get the schools, and then the public classes are kind of like that, they're secondary trying to, whereas for me, it's begun the other way. So I've just tried to push all my public classes as big as I can, get as many classes as I can running, and then now start looking at the schools. Like I say, I've just become an affiliate with South Ayrshire Council for their active schools. So brilliant. Hopefully that's going to open up a few more doors for me.
I know it's a bit trial and error with, once you have your territory, in terms of weekdays especially, isn't it, of kind of getting the right day and the right time.
Saturdays and Sundays, you can generally put a class up and there's going to be a lot of people available and kind of run. But then when you're doing it after school, I've tried different ways of doing it literally just from school finishing or nursery finishing right the way through. And then I've done a breakdown. I've just launched one in West Kilbride a couple of months ago where I've got a class at kind of like half ones, or parents that have got like your younger kids, the diddies can come and then they can still make it for pickup time for school. And then they've got enough time to bring the older kids to the classes afterwards. And at the moment, that's starting to take off quite well. So it might be the format going forward. But again, it's just making sure you get that right day, that then all of a sudden you've not got 25 other classes going on at the same time and they're saturated in the area.
Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta see what works in your area, and that takes a little bit of hard work at the start, doesn't it? And things, but once you kind of get into that kind of pattern, then you know what works in your area, and that helps. So, what does your typical day look like now?
So it's all getting my daughter ready for school. That's the most important thing, getting her off and drop her off at school. And then it's a case of admin work up until I got a class running. I'm looking at recruiting new staff, so it's looking at different areas for that. Where's the best place to launch a new class? You don't really want to get something that's too close to where you actually are, that's going to take away from an already established area. It's just spending a lot of time doing that really, before then running around finding costumes, like you say, for the next class to go, getting dressed up and heading off out on the road. My area, although the actual population is probably roughly the same as everybody's, it's a lot wider. So I've got a lot more driving. It can take me like an hour to get from one side to the other side of, my franchise area. So sometimes if I've got classes on the same day, I'm driving quite a bit. So I'm in the car a lot.
Yeah, going from venue to venue. What's the response been like from your local community? Or communities, I should say, if you're
Yeah, no, it's been really, really good. It's been positive. And you do keep on getting people sending emails saying, you're going to be able to move over to this area soon. Can you get a class here? And, sometimes that works. Generally, you've got people loving the idea of getting kids moving and doing it, and they're wanting it, especially in like the smaller little towns that don't have as many people going there. It's definitely been a positive thing going forward, which is good.
yeah, your reputation's clearly
Absolutely, yeah. On your social media and things, the people who her post and sharing, videos of your classes and things is great. They're obviously loving it, and I know certainly with like our charity week specials and things like last year, you raised such a massive amount in Scotland, so that I can see that the kids really love it and they love coming to the classes and getting involved in your themes and seeing Anthony there dressed up in whatever and you take it so you do it so well, like, and the kids just love. You can see that.
No, it is. It's good. I mean, it was so heartfelt last year when I found out with all that. Like what we basically said, right? Okay, this is our first year of doing it. We'll put a target of £500. Let's see what we can get together. But it felt like a real community. Like everybody got together with it. Parents bought in, and it was just shared on Facebook so much. And they say we hit 3,270 last year, which was
that's
absolutely.
incredible.
It was absolutely astounding what we'd managed to get to. And that was just generally down to kids definitely wanting to get involved, parents wanting to get involved, it being a good cause. And yeah, just having that camaraderie with the parents and stuff in the class, having that little bit of banter with them when I'm doing the classes and having a laugh. I think it's just made us all feel like we're part of that mini athletics family, which is really good. And
Yeah,
this year we're doing all right as well. We're sort of basically yesterday, I think we'd put about £500 through, so we're on about £600 total already before we've even started. So we're doing
Yeah.
good.
still a couple of weeks to go. Yeah, you clearly have got parents fully invested into mini athletics and they can clearly see what it brings for the children as well. It's brilliant.
I can't wait to see what your costume's going to be like. So I look forward to that one. Did you ever see yourself running a business? Is that something that you wanted to do, or was that literally just because it fitted into your family so well?
No, I think I've always wanted to kind of be the master of my own ship. And this is why I kind of moved from different jobs to jobs, just to try and find which was going to fit for me and what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to be down that position. I just didn't know the actual route that was going to take me there. And once I'd managed to find working with kids and how much I absolutely loved it, and that I did fit that role really well, putting the two together within mini athletics, everything just seemed to click at the right time.
It's been brilliant. We've talked a lot about mini athletics, obviously, in your journey, but what do you like doing outside from mini athletics?
I can't do anything outside of mini athletics. This is it. I literally answer the phone no matter what time of day. I think this is my other problem. The wife's going to kill me because I'm just constantly like, yeah, okay, I'll send a message back to that. I'll do it. Like I say, I just live in red.
Yeah.
No, I just spend time with my daughter, really, and my family. You know, I wouldn't mind going out weekends and trying to do farmers markets and just spending time walking about, chilling. And we take my daughter swimming as best I can, or
Yeah.
doing little bits like that, trying to do some sports.
Well, she's
But
already, how
yeah,
old is she? 6, and she's pretty much
so
already a fully trained mini athletics
Yeah.
coach.
yeah, so she's 6 in November, and she just absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves it. She already knows pretty much most of the patter. What class is it going to be this week? What we're doing? She wants to get dressed up as much as I do. So no, she absolutely loves it. I think she definitely will be one of my coaches when she gets older.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, you said you're sort of in Scotland, but what's it like? I know you're in Scotland and you're kind of on your own right now, but as part of the mini athletics wider network, like how does that help you, run your business basically? And been to the conference twice.
Yeah. So I've been down to the conference twice. It's good actually to get down and then see everybody face to face. But having Hannah as the connection was really good monthly to start off with, and then obviously it sort of like dropped down a little bit as we got further through. But it definitely gives you that help, that connection to the business as a whole. And if you've got any problems, and obviously we've then got like a Facebook group and stuff. So if you've got any questions or someone's trialed something, sometimes it doesn't always relay back up here in Scotland because of the behaviours of people are different, but it's always good to have that knowledge from several of the people coming in and saying, oh, well, actually, I've tried this before, try this and see whether that works, or this might help, or, just different little ideas and tips and tricks. And it's always good to have that big network behind you. If it is set off on your own, got all these pitfalls yourself that you don't really have any backup at all, whereas now we've got everything to fall back on, a little bit of help.
Of the bigger team flagging the flying the flag for
Yeah.
Scotland.
That's it. Yeah.
Thinking of the next year ahead, what would you say your top goal? Like, what's next for mini athletics in Ayrshire?
Expansion, really. So I'm getting old. I'm 45, and as much as I love doing all these classes and being in, it is getting quite difficult to get to all of them and then still be able to expand. So we've got Carly, who has been an amazing coach. She's took over a couple of the classes for me already. And this week she's doing some extra ones to try and take over a little bit more, which is good, which then means I can start looking at training up new coaches, new staff, and getting better, bigger venues, different places, so we can just expand more. So I can start taking on more of like the ownership managerial role and pop in and do like the covering shifts and turn up maybe in the fancy dress for the classes, so that then I can go in and do help out on bits and pieces. But at least then I can start taking that time to spread and get the word out and give other people a bit of a chance. So like Carly, she's studying now for doing PE and sports, but unfortunately from what she's been saying is that not many jobs out there once they get out of university. So the fact that something like this is available that would then hopefully give them a different career path as well is good. So being able to help people like that are willing to show the commitment and work, it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, great. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a super exciting time for mini athletics in Scotland. So, that's great to hear. So, if final question, what would you say to someone if they were just starting out on their mini athletics journey? How would you get them started?
I think that just don't be too afraid about it. I think the problem is when you're looking at taking on a franchise or doing something like that, it can be quite daunting. You start asking all these questions like, well, what if I get a venue and kids don't turn up, or people don't sign in, and
Mm.
you're going to start like, am I going to be paying out lots of money before anything happens? The questions that although, yes, you want to be having yourself, you should be just taking that leap of faith with it a little bit. You go in, you're going to get them kids coming. It's a class that people are going to start enjoying. As long as you're enjoying it, you're going in and you're enjoying it. You are going to get people come.
Thank you so much for your time, Anthony. It's been amazing to talk to you today. So thanks for coming.
Yeah,
No
thanks
problem.
so
Thank you
much.
very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.